On ChannelOne TV. I am Hawa Idris Mustafa. Shortly, we'll be taking you to the Ashanti Regional Capital, Kumasi, where the former Vice President, Dr. Bawumia, is currently in Adum to get first-hand information on the fire that occurred last Friday. With him is the Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amwakohene. Our bureau chief for the Middle Belt, Hafiz Tijani, is currently with the team and joins us live. Hafiz, good morning to you. Thank you for your time. If you can hear me, we can see Dr. Bawumia in shots today. But exactly what is happening at Adum where you are?
Well, so Dr. Bawumia's visit coincided with a visit by the Ashanti Regional Minister, who came with the Kumasi Traditional Council, members of the Kumasi Traditional Council, who were yesterday were going to be here. So when such an incident happened, the city authorities would have to brief the Asantehene on what has happened since the overlord of the land. So Asantehene is absent, he's not in town, but he has delegated someone who represents him on the traditional council, that is the Asafohene. So yesterday there was a meeting by the Ashanti Regional Minister and other city authorities with the Traditional Council, which was chaired by the Asafohene, and we were told that they were going to come here to have first-hand information about what has happened. Then can again brief the Asantehene upon his return from his trip. So that is what is happening here. The Traditional Council came in here, and as they were touring the areas to look at the devastation that has been caused by the fire, we saw former Vice President Dr. Bawumia also arriving with his team. So he came in the company of the former Ashanti Regional Minister Simon Osei Mensah, the Member of Parliament for the Subin constituency, Lawyer Obri Abua, and then Chairman Wontumi, the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, and other bigwigs of the New Patriotic Party. So Dr. Bawumia currently is being taken around to see the disaster or the kind of damage or destruction the fire has caused to properties here. So that is what is being done now. He's been taken to the areas to look at what has happened. And that is exactly what also the Kumasi Traditional Council is doing, trying to ascertain what has happened so they can have first-hand information about what has happened. So after the tour, the former Vice President and members of the Kumasi Traditional Council are going to engage with the traders. You know, there was an issue about traders trying to rebuild their structures and do business, but there was the caution or directive by the Ashanti Regional Coordinating Council being led by the Ashanti Regional Minister Frank Amwakohene, who says that they should hold on. City authorities are putting in place to at least create access routes in market so they can resume business. And that's some traders not so happy about, because some of them are afraid they might lose their spaces, their trading, if the government is taking over the development of the place. But there was some assurances and reassurance from the regional minister telling them that the government was not interested in taking over the land from them and denying them from going back to their previous trading spaces. But the traders are here in their numbers. They would want to hear what assurance is there for them and when exactly they would do the rebuilding of the trading area so they can resume business. So the former Vice President is currently towards the Central Market area, and we have some of the buildings, the major building that was engulfed by the fire, that has been affected by the where he is currently his team. The crowd is so massive. Talk of the sympathizers of the Democratic Party. Some of the left their trading areas, they are expanding their businesses. Of the former vice president who moving through the and also the affected areas to happen. So when the Commercial Council came, some of the members of the traditional council were so surprised and so shocked about what has happened. They've been passing some comments among themselves saying that the devastation is massive. The fire has really caused damage to this, and they have been empathizing with it. And later we are going to see a separate briefings between the traders and former Vice President Dr. Bawumia and also members traditional council. So that is what is happening here at the Adum area of the Central Business District, where we had fire on Friday. So former Vice President is currently at the building which was devastated by the fire with his team.
Hafiz, now we can hear some of the traders trying to get the attention of the former vice president. What exactly are some of the things they have been saying as the vice president passes through the market to access for himself the situation on the ground?
Well, their concern is when they are going to resume trading. Since Friday, when the incident happened, they say that yes, this has happened. So when are we going to resume trading? I spoke to some of them, and when you come to this place, mostly is the youth who occupy this place. I spoke to one, he completed school for since the last 3 years. He has not any work to do, so this is where he gets his daily bread from. But since Friday it's not worked, he has been spending money on food and other of his errands, and he wished that the city authorities are able to expedite processes so he can at least go about his trading here, so he can get money to at least fend for himself and the family. So that is what we hear them say. They want the authorities to give them the exact dates when the clearing of the debt is done. For some of them, they don't want even the city authorities to take the rebuilding of the place. They say they can rebuild the place themselves. They just want the city authorities to clear the place for them, but that should have been, or that should be expedited. They want the city authorities to clear the place for them so they can go out and go on with the rebuilding efforts. You come here, that is the conversation traders having themselves.
Very well. Now, what time is the vice president expected to meet with these traders to get their concerns? The former vice president, I beg your pardon, the former vice president, Dr. Bawumia, do we know of a time that he is expected to meet with the traders to get their concerns and then the assurances he can give them as a former state official?
Well, currently the vice president is touring the area. His team would want him to have a fair idea of what has happened. So that is the focus now, so that he is heading towards where the traders have erected some tents where they are seated and waiting for the vice president or any guest who comes here or any official who come here to join them. Let's try and see if I can speak to the former Ashanti regional minister who is part of the team of the vice president, who has been leading the team of the vice president.
The former vice president.
Market here. So you can hear some of the traders wailing that they have lost a lot. They have lost out in this fire incident, and they need help. They need help not only from the government, but also from the former vice president. Some of them, you hear them also mention Kantamanto. They say the vice president intervened or stepped in to help the traders who were affected by the Kantamanto fire incident. So they believe that seeing that the vice president is coming here, he's able to help them to at least resume their businesses. So that is what you hear from some of these traders who are filling up the crowd, trying to catch a glimpse of the former vice president and his team here.
Hafiz, earlier we saw the Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amwakohene, in short. Is it that he's at a different session of the market? We know he had planned to meet with the Guta members.
Yes, so the Ashanti Regional Minister came in with the Kumasi Traditional Council, members of the Kumasi Traditional Council. He is kept touring with them at the other end of market to also show them the extent of damage. So you know, the Ashanti Regional Minister is supposed to give official briefing to the Otumfuo when some of these things happen in the region. So that is what he's doing, because Otumfuo is not has delegated these chiefs, because Otumfuo has delegated these chiefs to take care of affairs in his absence. That is why the Ashanti Regional Minister is supposed to brief these chiefs. So the Asafohene is chairing the Kumasi Traditional Council in the absence of the Otumfuo. So he is going to do that, take the briefing from the Ashanti Regional Minister. Then when he's done, he will relay that information to the Asantehene, who would also make some recommendations. And this is not the first time such thing is happening, because we've had previous fire incidents in the Ashanti region, and that has been the procedure. And most of the markets in the metropolis, talk of the satellite market, are also under the care of the Asantehene. So the market queens will also be available to brief the Asantehene officially on what has happened, so that she can also give her recommendations as far as this incident is concerned. So you hear some of it. So the vice president is being followed by most of the traders who have abandoned their trading activities, trying to catch a glimpse of the vice president. You hear some of the comments they've been making. Most of them are calling for help. Most of them are calling for support. Most of them are calling on the government to expedite processes, and city authorities expedite processes in the clearing of the burnt area and give them the permission to start their trading.